Now, in this video, we will discuss about the thermal stress and thermal strain. So, materials expand when the temperature rises and contracts when temperature falls. The change in length due to change in temperature, directly proportional to the length of the member and also to change in temperature. So that is, if you see the change in length due to change in temperature directly proportional to the length of the member and the temperature change. So that is delta is proportional to T into L, where delta is nothing but the change in length and T is the change in temperature and L is the original length. Delta, suppose if you are taking the proportionality constant, delta equals alpha into T into L, where alpha is the coefficient of thermal expansion and is defined as change in unit length of the material due to unit change in temperature. Now we're going to take the thermal stresses or the stresses induced in the body due to change in temperature. So this is the next heading. When a member is free to expand or contract due to rise or fall of temperature, no stresses will be induced in the member as shown in the figure. So here, when you see the one end of the member is fixed, well, the member is free to expand. So there is no obstruction here. So before heating, you are going to have L. So after heating, then the temperature, then the length of the member will going to increase by delta, which is equal to alpha into T into L. So this is by after heating. If the ends of the bodies are fixed, so here in this case, wherein you don't have, since there is no obstruction, there is no temperature stresses because it is free to expand. If the ends of the body are fixed to rigid supports as shown in the figure, so that its expansion is completely prevented, then the stress are induced in the body of the member. So that is, if you see here, when the one of the members is fixed in both the ends, then what happens? Because due to the heating, then there will be obstruction, so that you are going to hit the delta 1. So to do that, if you see here, if the ends of the bodies are fixed to the rigid supports as shown in the figure below, so that its expansion is completely prevented, then stresses are induced in the body of the member. The stresses induced in the member due to change in temperature is called thermal stresses. The stresses induced in the member due to change in temperature is called thermal stress, and strain due to this is called thermal strain. Here the induced stresses and corresponding strains are compressive. Why it is? Because compressive, here once it comes and touches this point, then there is always a prevention, so that we are going to prevent the member being expanded by using the length. So the reaction will going to take place, so it will try to pull this back towards the obstruction. So this is how it will going to be explained for delta 1. What is thermal strain? Alpha T will be equal to extension prevented by original length. What is the extension prevented? Delta 1 or delta by L. So here, what is delta? Delta is nothing but alpha into T into L, where alpha is the quotient of thermal expansion. Therefore, LL will get cancelled, so alpha into T. So this is the expression for thermal strain, epsilon T, where T is the change in temperature and alpha is the coefficient of thermal expansion. What is thermal stress? Sigma T will be equal to thermal strain into E. So according to the Young's modulus, Hooke's law. So thermal strain into, that is, stress is equal to strain into Young's modulus. So naturally, since it is a thermal expansion, is the coefficient of thermal expansion, so you are going to have thermal strain into E. So what is the thermal strain? Thermal strain is nothing but alpha into T, and since it is Young's modulus, it will be multiplied by E, where E is the Young's modulus. Now, the thermal stress and thermal strain are also called as temperature stress and temperature strain, respectively. If the free expansion is prevented partially, is shown in the figure, above figure, or the supports yield by an amount equal to delta 1. So here, actual expansion is equal to expansion due to rise in temperature minus delta 1. What is expansion due to rise in temperature, which is the free expansion, will be equal to alpha into T into L minus delta 1. So the thermal strain is, what is that? thermal stress into E or thermal strain will be equal to actual expansion by original length. So actual expansion is alpha into T into L minus delta 1. Substitute those values here in this expression, and original length will be L. So that will be equal to alpha into T minus delta 1 by L. So where thermal stress sigma T will be equal to thermal strain into E. So what is the thermal strain? The thermal strain is equal to alpha into T into L minus delta 1 by L. So into Young's modulus. So thermal stresses in composite bar or the compound bar. The next equation will going to be the thermal stresses in composite bar or the compound bar. If you consider the composite bar, there are two bars which is made out of one of material is different from the other, which is steel and copper, and having same equal length. Suppose if you want to expand this, so as the coefficient of thermal expansion of steel is lesser than the coefficient, here you can see that the final position when both the members are heated simultaneously, so the steel will going to expand till alpha S into T into L, and the copper being expanded till here, which is alpha C into T into L. So that is the coefficient of thermal expansion of copper, and alpha S will be coefficient of thermal expansion of steel. So now consider a composite bar consisting of two members, for example of steel and copper. Let the composite bar be heated through some temperature. If the temperature are free to expand, or if the members are free to expand, then no stresses will going to be developed in the inducing the bar. But the two members are rigidly fixed, and hence the composite bar as a whole will expand by the same amount. As alpha C is more than the alpha S, that is the coefficient of thermal expansion of copper is more than the coefficient of thermal expansion of steel, the copper will expand freely or more than the steel. Since both the members are not free to expand, the expansion of the composite bar as a whole will be less than that of copper, but more than the steel. So here, therefore, the stress induced in the copper bar will be compressive, and in the steel bar will be tensile. Hence, the forces acting on the copper will be compressive, and in the steel will be tensile. So that is because the coefficient of thermal expansion of steel has less to expand than when compared to the copper. So once you have a rigid support, in the rigid support it will try to expand beyond the rigid support in case of copper. So thereby it will going to develop the compressive stress. But whereas in steel it has got less coefficient, it has got less expansion. Still it requires some distance to be covered for the rigid support. So naturally the steel will going to be in tensile. So the compressive force PC is acting on the copper by shorten the amount by delta C, and the tensile force is acting on the steel bar will be length of less than lengthened by amount of delta S. That is what we can see here. If you see here, alpha S into T into L. So still for the final position, delta S is the one which you need to cover. So it will going to have the further expansion. So therefore you are going to get a tensile force. When you have the copper has free to expand till here. So because of this final position, so that means the rigid support, this copper bar will try to prevent that to extend beyond final position. So thereby a compressive stress, compressive load will going to be developed, which is PC, and that the amount will going to be the delta C. So now for equilibrium, what is that? PS is equal to PC is equal to P. So what is PS? PS is equal to alpha S into T into L plus delta S. That is because this steel will going to have a tensile force. So then PC is equal to alpha C into T into L minus delta C. So you substitute delta, you take out delta S plus delta C on one side and remaining things on the other side. So delta S plus delta C will be equal to alpha C into E T into L minus alpha S into T into L. So taking the common factor PS, so here what is delta S? P into L by AS into ES, because as the length of the steel and copper will going to remain the same and the load acting is also same. Similarly, P into L by AC into EC is equal to So we take alpha c into T into L minus alpha s into T into L. So now if you take the common factor as T into L, then alpha c minus alpha s. And similarly, if you take P into L as the common factor, then 1 by AS into ES plus 1 by AC into EC will be equal to alpha c minus alpha s into T into L. So next, then we have here P into AS into ES plus AC into EC. So you just take out the common factor. So you just take out the LCM and try to simplify that. So when you do that, here P into AC EC into AS ES in the denominator and AS ES AS into ES in the numerator plus AC into EC, that will be equal to alpha C into alpha C minus alpha S into T. So since I want load, so naturally you will going to get AC into EC into AS into ES divided by AS into ES plus AC into EC into alpha C minus alpha S into T. Therefore, the tensile stress on the steel bar, which is equal to sigma S, which is equal to PS by AS. So compressive stress on the copper bar will be equal to sigma C, which is equal to PC by AC. So if you consider for PS, then you just take this to the denominator by cross multiplying it. Then what happens? ES into AC into EC divided by AC into EC plus AS into ES. Whole thing is multiplied by alpha C minus alpha S into T. Similarly, the compressive stress on the copper bar, which is sigma C is equal to PC into AC, PC by AC. So what is PS? PS is nothing but, what is PC? AS into ES into EC. So then divided by AC is get cancels there. Then divided by AC into EC plus AS into ES. The whole thing is multiplied by alpha C minus alpha S into T. So this is how we will be able to explain the thermal stress and the thermal strain. Thank you.